A very warm June good afternoon to everyone and heartfelt welcome to Nirmal Swasthya, the webinar series for nutritional and lifestyle empowerment of the community. This webinar series is organized by the College of Home Science, Nirmala Niketan, and offering from the Foods Nutrition and Dietetics Department. This is organized in collaboration with Kellogg's India. The Nirmal Swasthya webinar series has the aim to provide a platform where there is a possibility to get nutrition and lifestyle information from reliable, credible sources. And this platform is in congruence with the aims of the Government of India with its policies of the National Nutrition Mission, the Fit India movement, and the digitalization of education. So we have blended all that. And here is Nirmal Swasthya webinar series for lifestyle and nutritional empowerment of the community. Before we begin the session, the inaugural session, I would like to give a few instructions. One, please, all those who are in Zoom, please keep your audio and video off throughout the presentation. Second, in Zoom, please type on the chat wherever you have questions or concerns. And so also in YouTube, please type your questions on the chat that is of relevance and based on time. So let us start this inaugural session with the seed of the divine in our hearts and with the prayer that we are moving towards a healthy nation. I now call upon and invite our dynamic principal, Dr. Geeta Ibrahim, a stalwart in biochemistry, to address the audience. Dr. Geeta Ibrahim.
Very good afternoon to all of you, my dear participants, and thank you, Biba, for those very wonderful words, which I'm not very sure if I deserve them, but all the same. So once again, warm welcome to each of you. I can see a huge number of participants. In fact, I myself was finding it difficult to enter into this meeting. So it tells me, it speaks volumes of the interest that people have shown, and really thankful to each one of you for being here for the second part of the webinar series organized by the Department of Foods, Nutrition and Dietetics on a very, very important topic and very well coined, Nirmal Swasthya, nutritional and lifestyle empowerment of the community. I can see the series, the webinar series running through so many days and a lot of hard work that has gone in getting the right blend of, the theoretical aspects and to be followed by a lot of practical demonstrations, a lot of practical inputs, which would be going out to the community. And I'm really grateful to all the wonderful experts, the panelists who are going to be with us through these series and to be sharing the information. So it is very, very important because the first part of the series, webinar series, focus more towards the hardcore and so on. But today these very experts are to the information and coming from the right source of experts. It is spread, but today I think we are looking forward to this community information that is going to come out from the experts that we have here. And I congratulate Dr. Anuradha Mitra and her team of dedicated staff and students who have taken upon this, I should say, onerous job of organizing these series one after the other. And it's not an easy job because, to get the experts to organize has taken a lot of time, a lot of effort. But I'm sure at the end of it, each one of us is going to come out, well educated and well with the right information coming from the right set of people, that is more important. I really want to also thank Kellogg's Nutrition for being partnering with us. We have our own alumni there, Madhvi, Nadia, Sweetie, and many others who are always being a support to us. And thank you, Kellogg's, for being there with us always and for helping us through all these wonderful webinars that our department has organized. I wish the webinar a grand success through the days that it has been organized. I would love to be with you all, and excuse me for a few minutes because I'm in and out of two webinars which are being conducted by our college today and also into a BOS meeting. So I will definitely get back because I too want to see the, here and also be part of the recipe demonstrations and so on and so forth. So once again, thank you Anuradha, thank you Vibha, thank you everybody from the department for organizing this webinar series, and we look forward to many more participants joining in the days to come. Thank you and wish you all a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ibrahim. Your words resonated our purpose. I now invite Mrs. Anuradha Mitra, the head of the Department of Foods, Nutrition and Dietetics, to give you a brief on this webinar series, Nirmal Swasthya. Mrs. Anuradha Mitra. Mrs. Smith.
Yes, sorry, that was a little bit of a technical issue here. And a very good evening to one and all. A very warm welcome to the second series of our webinar. After e-Vikas, we have Nirmal Swasthya for you. The sound Nirmal Swasthya itself is so very calming and reassuring. It is the brainchild of our department, and I must thank our faculty Vibha Hasija for christening this little baby of our department, which I'm sure is going to grow in leaps and bounds with all the good wishes of our mentors, alumni, and you, dear participants. निर्मल स्वास्थ्य है हमारा स्वास्थ्य, मेरा स्वास्थ्य, आप सबका स्वास्थ्य, और इसीलिए हमने ये वेबिनार सीरीज आज की है ताकि हम सब आपके साथ जुड़ सके और हमारा जो थोड़ा बहुत ज्ञान है न्यूट्रिशन और आहार के बारे में हम आपके साथ बांट सकें. This web series aims at reaching out mainly to the community at large, or we would be failing in our duty as nutritionists and dietitians if we did not share our expertise with people, especially during this trying time of global health crisis. COVID-19 has made us realize a lot of things. इस बीमारी ने हमें बहुत सीख भी दी है. It has given us time for self-introspection, time to wean the essentials from the luxuries, time to value every little moment that we took for granted. It has also opened our eyes to holistic health, especially our food, our nutrition. इस बीमारी के कारण हम सब अपने आहार के बारे में थोड़ा बहुत ज्यादा सोचने लगे हैं. आज हम कुछ इसलिए little less. I'm looking to this and I'm sure Sija, Dr. Subhadra Mandalika, Fatima Thader, Sheetal Joshi, Dr. Minelli, Dr. Yardi, and Trisha Ganguly. All of them have tirelessly contributed and worked in one way or the other towards getting this together. And I'm sure their hard work is not going to go in vain. I also wish to thank my students and volunteers, the youngsters, who are always ready to assist us and whom we often consult for technological issues. And I also wish to thank anybody else whom I have inadvertently left out. Now, before I wind up and ask Vibha to take over, I would like to read out the message of our President, Dr. Maggie, which she has sent us. Could we please have the message, please? Yes, the message from Dr. Maggie, our president. I was honored to attend the first webinar which the FND department has organized during these days. It was very informative and enriching. I congratulate Mrs. Mitra and the whole department for the selfless efforts and committed team that made it possible to conduct these sessions. Somebody is scribbling. Please, would you stop that?
I request people not to make any annotations on this, and if Trisha can go and put off the annotations, it will be good. Please don't make any annotations on the slide. Thank you.
Yeah. Could you just another request to all of you, please stop doing the scribbling, because it will make the webinar very, you all will not enjoy it. So I repeat again, I was honored to attend the first webinar which the FND department had organized during these days. It was very informative and enriching. I congratulate Mrs. Anuradha Mitra and the whole department for their selfless efforts and committed teamwork, which made it possible to conduct these sessions with great collaboration and participation. Once again, I'm extremely happy to extend my gratitude and best wishes to each one of you on behalf of the whole management. More than ever, COVID-19 has made us realize the need to take care of our health, especially our food and nutritional needs. I'm happy to learn that you are organizing Nirmal Swasthya, the webinar series for nutritional and lifestyle empowerment of the community. The topics you have chosen are relevant for our times, and it is surely going to be a great contribution to the community to face the health issues that we are facing during this pandemic. We extend our gratitude to all eminent speakers and we wish them all the very best. Our special thanks to Kellogg's Nutrition. We know that it is not an easy task for the department team to organize 7 sessions continuously. We appreciate all your hard work and committed service. May God bless all your efforts. We welcome all the participants and wish that you may have an enriching experience during this lockdown so that you learn to face the challenges which the pandemic poses before us with confidence and creative approach. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Maggie. That was indeed a very motivating and encouraging message. I now hand over the sessions to Hasija. Vibha, would you please continue?
Thank you, Mrs. Mitra. Your talk has set the tone for the series really very well. Thank you. We go ahead, and also a request to all the participants not to scribble onto the screen because it's really hindering the video when the screen sharing is done. So today's session of Nirmal Swasthya is in 2 parts. The first part is an information session and the second part is a practical session. So for the first part, the information session, I have the pleasure and the privilege to introduce today's speaker. Dr. Subhadra, may I request the slide to be shared? Thank you. Our speaker for the day is Ms. Sheila Krishnaswamy. She is a registered dietitian and certified sports nutritionist and a very sought out nutrition and wellness consultant. She has a vast professional experience of over 30 years in the sphere of foods, nutrition, and dietetics. She is highly acclaimed as a nutrition and wellness consultant for corporates, school nutrition programs, and management of diseases. She's an expert communicator and sought out columnist, editor, public speaker, blogger, anchor, counselor, and gives webinars currently under Nutrition Nectar. She is a former national president of the Indian Dietetic Association, and presently she is a country representative and director of the International Confederation of Dietetic Associations. And I must say that in my association with her, she comes across over multiple years. I've had the opportunity to know her as a very calm, wise, vibrant, and visionary nutritionist, much required in today's times. And today she's going to talk about a wonderful topic which sets the tone for our series, cereal nutrition, its importance in today's time and age. So I now hand over the platform to Ms. Sheila Krishnaswamy. May I invite you to take it over?
Thank you very much, Vibha. That was an awesome introduction. I'm not sure really whether I deserve all of it, but thank you very much for your kind introduction. Let me begin also by sharing my screen.
I will also request you to turn off the annotations when you're sharing.
Yes, I'll do that. Thank you. Yes, I've just disabled the annotation. Are you able to view the screen, the slides?
Yeah, put it on slideshow.
Yes. Is that better?
It's still not on slideshow.
It is for me. On my screen, it is on slideshow.
Okay.
Are you able to view it better now?
It is not on slideshow on our screens, I think. And annotations, have you put off?
Yes, I have switched off the annotations. It is on slideshow on my screen. Let me try and redo this
No,
again.
you will have to enable editing, I think. I think then you can put it on slideshow.
Okay, can you just guide me on that enable editing?
No, that protected view is there, no, on top. The file and home is there. Below that, there is enable editing. So I think you can put it on slideshow after that.
Okay, I'm just going to end the slideshow for now.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Is that better now?
Now try on slideshow.
Yes, I have made it slideshow on my screen. Are you able to view it?
No. So it's fine. Let's continue like this then. It's fine. You can put it on full screen.
Yes, I have done that.
Okay.
And I'm also switching off the annotation again.
Yes.
Do you want me to try again the slideshow?
Yeah, I think if you try it once again, it will be better. Yes.
Okay, let me just stop sharing.
Yeah.
And I'll reshare the screen.
Achha, Sheila, when you are de-annotating now, you have to do it from top. There is an option of more from there. Disable participants annotation.
Yes,
click on
I
that.
did that.
Yeah,
yes, I did that.
Very fast.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. Is that better?
Have you disabled the annotations?
Yes, I have. I have.
Okay. I think.
Are you able to see the full screen now?
It is still on, not on slideshow for us. I think we have a backup. Shall we share it then?
Yes, please. That would be really nice.
So maybe Shilpa, if you can just share the screen, that will be good. You can stop sharing your screen.
Okay, I've done that. Thank you.
We'll just hold for a minute till that screen sharing is possible.
Sure.
So while we are sharing the screen, Dr. Krishnaswamy, we would love to know about your views in the current situation about health and so on, what you have encountered and how, what is one message that you would like to give based on your experience?
What I have encountered is most of the senior citizens are well, at least in our friends and family circles, are taking good care of themselves by following all the guidelines that have been given by the government of India and the medical fraternity, which is a good thing, I think. Staying home and not moving around much, and eating healthy foods, eating home cooked foods, eating less of oily foods, and eating less of very highly processed foods and all of that. So I think that has helped them to stay in the within their health gamut, so to speak. And as far as the young adults are concerned, I think they are a little more daring. So they have, again, in my experience, what I have seen is they have been going out and probably not following all the guidelines all the time, but they are probably a little less conscious of, about eating healthy and all of that. But overall, I think, as Dr. Anuradha Mitra said, it has changed the way we eat and the way we live.
Absolutely. And for some time, I think it's going to be there for a while.
Yes, so absolutely.
Sasita, I think Miss Sheila only may have to share the screen now.
Okay.
All
okay.
Right.
So that's fine.
Again.
We go ahead then with that. Yeah. Only the annotations quickly, if you are able to stop it, that will be good. And I'm requesting all the participants to not, scribble.
Okay. Let me try once again the screen share.
Because the disabled participants, you will find it from more on top. If you're doing that only, you have to, the moment you put on the slideshow, immediately you will have to do that. Otherwise, there is a lot of scribbling going on.
I'll do that. I'll do that. So I'm going to try the screen share once again.
Yes.
So that's my screen, and I'm pressing share, and I'm going to more, and okay, I have.
Now you can see you're viewing Sheila Krishnaswamy's screen. On the right, there is view options. So when you go there, you can disable annotations.
Yeah, put it on slide.
Yes, it's already disabled. Are you able to see the screen now?
Yes.
Now you put it on slideshow. Now you put it on slideshow.
It is already on slideshow in my computer.
So then let us go ahead.
All right. Once again, thank you very much for this opportunity. Many thanks to College of Home Science Nirmala Niketan and Kellogg's Nutrition for giving me this opportunity to talk to you briefly on cereal nutrition, its importance in today's day and time. My apologies for the technical difficulties that we faced in the last few minutes. However, we are not experts in technology, we're experts in nutrition, therefore we will just go on with today's presentation. So the outline of my presentation is going to be as follows. I will briefly begin with cereal grains, which is an integral part of Indian diet, then move on to trends in food consumption pattern, followed by incidents of diet-related chronic NCDs, that is the non-communicable diseases, then balanced diet, importance of breakfast, and breakfast cereals and its health benefits. So I'm sure all of you are already aware that grains and cereal grains form a very important part of our meals. No Indian meal is complete without using a cereal or a millet. Cereal grains in our country is a staple food which constitutes about 80% of the diet. It forms the main source of energy and it provides about 50 to 80% of daily energy for most people. India is the world's largest producer and exporter of cereal products, especially rice and wheat, and commonly consumed cereals and millets are rice, wheat, maize, jowar, bajra, and ragi. While southern and eastern states mainly eat rice, jowar, and ragi, the western and northern states of India primarily eat wheat, maize, and bajra. Are grains nourishing? Definitely yes. They contain a lot of carbohydrates, which is the main energy source for our brain and body. They also contain protein, which is the building block for all our cells. They contain B vitamins, fiber, and they're an important source of minerals like magnesium and zinc. So is there a best grain that we can all eat every day? I don't think so. It's important to eat a variety of cereals and grains in order to get the best nutritional benefit on a daily basis. This is a beautifully designed plate of foods done by the National Institute of Nutrition, Indian Council of Medical Research very recently. It's called My Plate for the Day Guideline. And as you can see in this photo, about 50% of the plate is filled with vegetables and fruits. A little more than a quarter of the plate has cereals and nutri-cereals, that is the millets. Almost a quarter of the plate is filled with pulses, eggs and flesh foods, nuts and seeds, which are all rich in protein. And a very small strip has fats and oils. And on the side is the dairy. So if we eat in this, sorry, I'm getting a call.
We'll have to change the slide.
Oh, it's moving on my screen. Okay, I'm told that my slides are not moving. It's moving very well on my screen. So should I just leave the PowerPoint show and come back? Can I try moving it now? Can you tell me whether it's moving?
It has changed now. It has changed now.
Has it moved?
Yes, it has moved.
Okay,
we are on the My Plate.
Okay, so should I continue from My Plate?
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right.
Right now we are on proportion of food groups slide.
Yeah, one moment, please. Yes. All right. So, should I repeat where about this My Plate, or should I just continue?
No, that's fine. You can
okay.
Go ahead. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Again, apologies for the technical glitch. So, like I said, it's a beautifully designed plate by the National Institute of Nutrition. And if we are able to eat in this manner and in this quantity, we can be assured of adequate intake of all micronutrients, that's the vitamins and minerals and trace elements, fiber, bioactive compounds, antioxidants, etc. Eating this in this manner also helps to prevent macro and micronutrient malnutrition, improves immunity and resistance to infections, and maintains the good microbial flora, which is very important for gut health. So those foods we need to eat in different proportions. And according to the National Institute of Nutrition, we need about 270 grams of cereals, including millets, per day. This gives about 45% of the energy required for our body on a daily basis, which means about 900 calories comes from cereals. And we also get about 20 grams of protein from cereal group. We all know that pulses, milk and curd, and nuts and seeds are protein-rich foods, and they do contribute to our protein intake, but we cannot ignore the fact that 20 grams of protein also comes from cereals, which is almost a third of our requirement in approximately 2000 calorie diet. So cereals are very important as in our diets. So let's briefly look at the trends in food consumption patterns. This is the average intake of important food groups, which was found to be lower than the recommended intake in urban Indians. If you look at cereals and millets group, it was just 69% of the recommended daily intake, whereas pulses and legumes, on the other hand, was 104% of the recommended daily intake. While most of us think that pulses and legumes are eaten lesser than what is required, this survey done by National Nutrition Monitoring Bureau, reported in 2017, says that it is not so. However, green leafy vegetables was just over 50% of the recommended daily intake. There was adequate amount of other vegetables and root vegetables. Milk was lesser than adequate. Fats and oils was 159% of the recommended daily intake, which is much more higher than required. Sugar and jaggery was only 52% of the recommended intake. So this gives a very different picture in the urban Indians of what kind of foods that we are eating every day. Therefore, the nutrient intake also, as seen in the next slide, is very, very different from what is recommended.
Ms. Krishnaswamy, may I interrupt here? We will share the screen from our side and put it on slideshow, because on the YouTube it's not viewed well. So you please stop screen sharing. We will share it from our side, and we'll continue with this slide.
Sure, thank you.
Dr. Minelli, please start screen sharing. Dr. Minelli, kindly start screen sharing.
Okay, great. Is everyone able to view the screen now?
Yes, it's very well viewable.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for sharing the screen, Minelli. All right, so as I was saying, can we move to the next slide, please? Yeah, thank you. So the nutrient intake is very different from what it should be, what is recommended, because of the difference in intake of food groups. So here we can see that the protein is only 89% of the recommended dietary allowance. Energy is only 83% of the recommended dietary allowance. Now, we might wonder, even though the pulses and legumes intake, as seen in the previous slide, was about 103% of the recommended daily intake. However, cereals and milk intake was lesser than the recommended daily intake, and therefore the total protein intake, as seen in this slide, reaches only 89% of the recommended dietary allowance. Similarly, calcium, iron, vitamin A is abysmally low. Thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, all of these nutrients are less than the percentage of recommended dietary allowance. Only vitamin C and dietary folate seem to be meeting the requirements according to the National Nutrition Monitoring Bureau report of 2017. Pregnant women consuming less than 50% of RDA in general was significantly high with wide variations within states. Can I have the next slide, please? Thank you. All right. Sorry. The National Sample Survey Office 2011-2012 showed a decline in the percentage of expenditure on cereals and substitutes in both rural and urban areas. If you look at the blue bar at the bottom, the biggest blue bar at the bottom on the screen of the graph, you'll see that there is a gradual shortening of the blue bar at the bottom from 1972-73 to 2011-12. This is similar in the urban as well. Both rural and urban areas show a similar decline in the length of the blue bar, which shows that the percentage expenditure on cereals has definitely decreased over the years. And if you look at the olive green color bar right on top, that represents beverages and fast food. And you can see a gradual increase both in the rural and in the urban regions over a period of time. Next slide, please. There seems to be a shift in the food basket as well, which contributes to energy and protein intake right from 93 to 2012. So if you look at the first half, the left side graph, that shows the contribution towards energy coming from cereals, both in rural as well as in urban. It has decreased from 71 to 61, I'm sorry, in the rural regions, and from 58 to 51 in the urban regions. So the energy contribution coming from cereals has definitely decreased, and the protein contribution coming from cereals has also decreased, as you can see in the right side graph, both in the rural and in the urban regions. However, there is a marginal increase in milk and milk products intake that is seen in the blue, turquoise blue color bar. There is a very slight increase, but that is not enough for, to balance the protein and the energy that is required. Can I have the next slide, please? So now we move on to the incidence of diet-related chronic non-communicable diseases. Next slide, please. This slide shows that the NCDs are widely prevalent in urban Indians. The first comparison is related to obesity, where we see a 33% prevalence in men and 44% prevalence of obesity in women. And this is according to the Asian cutoff BMI of over 25. And the next one is the diabetes mellitus, which is prevalent in 21% of the male population and 19% of the female population in urban Indians. And hypertension is present in 31% of the male population and 26% of the female population in urban Indians. Along with this, we also have seen 22% of men and women had higher than normal cholesterol levels, that is over 200 milligrams, and 40% of men and 28% of women had high triglyceride levels, that is over 150 mg per dl. Next slide, please. So what is the solution? Balanced diet. Unfortunately, in urban India today, we see a lot of unhealthy eating habits, physical inactivity, very high stress levels, very low sunshine, very low levels of sunshine, sunlight exposure, and very poor quality sleep. Next slide, please. So what we really need is, we need to balance our food intake. And this food pyramid was brought out by the National Institute of Nutrition in the year 2011 to show that the bottom of the pyramid, as you see, contains cereals, pulses, and dairy, to show that those foods have to be consumed in adequate amounts. And the next part of the pyramid shows vegetables and fruits, which need to be eaten in liberal quantities. The next part of the pyramid shows meats and eggs, and oils and fats, which need to be taken in moderate quantities, not in excess. And the top of the pyramid, the smallest part of the pyramid, is actually the foods sitting there should be eaten very sparingly. That those are the high calorie, high sugar, high salt foods, and highly processed refined foods, which have to be taken in very small quantities. Of course, exercise is very, very important as well. So ideally, the balanced diet will provide about 50 to 60% of total calories from carbohydrates, preferably complex carbohydrates, 10 to 15% of calories from proteins, and 20 to 30% calories both from visible as well as invisible fats. That is the fat which comes naturally through foods. The next slide, please. So of all these, from the pyramid that we saw, we need to use all those foods and food groups in 3 different meals every day. One is breakfast, the second is lunch, and the third is dinner. And in my practice, what I have seen is, people make excuses for not eating breakfast. Some people say that they don't have time in the morning to eat breakfast or make breakfast. Some say that they're not hungry in the morning, so they don't want to eat breakfast. And some others say that they want to lose weight and therefore they don't want to eat breakfast. In fact, skipping breakfast in the morning is the worst enemy for weight management or weight loss. So it is very important to eat breakfast in the morning. Next slide, please. Here are some facts related to physiology and how our body functions. Human brain lacks fuel stores, and that is energy stores, and requires a continuous supply of glucose, approximately 120 grams per day. Fats cannot serve as energy or fuel because fatty acids cannot cross the blood-brain barrier. And if we skip breakfast in the morning and go straight to lunch, that prolonged overnight fasting can lead to alternate pathways for maintaining blood glucose levels. And in the long run, over and over again, if we skip breakfast, this can lead to several metabolic derangements in the body. So it's very important to have a regular breakfast and a healthy breakfast every morning. Next slide, please. How does it benefit us? It's not just for energy that we need breakfast. We also need it for better mental performance or brain performance. It improves nutrient intakes in the morning when we eat a healthy breakfast. It also leads to a healthier body mass index and body weight. It improves cognitive performance in kids and adolescents, and it promotes overall metabolic health. So eating breakfast confers many, many health benefits. Next slide, please. So what is a balanced breakfast? We all know that there are several nutrients and several food groups that have to be used in a variety of ways and combinations. So how do we make our breakfast well balanced? Next slide, please. So this is a very, very well illustrated slide to show that we need 1 serving of, that is 30 grams approximately, of grains, preferably whole grains, to give us the carbohydrates, the fiber, and the micronutrients. Along with that, we also need a serve of either 100 ml of dairy, that is milk or curd, or 30 grams of pulses, or about 50 grams of lean meat or egg, to give us the protein and the micronutrients. And the third requirement is a serve, that is 100 grams of fruits or vegetables to provide us with fiber, vitamins, and minerals. So all of this together makes a very healthy breakfast and a balanced breakfast. Next slide, please. This slide gives a few examples of breakfasts that is eaten across our country, especially in the urban regions. Again, in my practice, what I have seen is the breakfast cereal with milk and fruit, and the sandwich with vegetables and maybe an omelette or an egg are the most commonly used breakfast during weekdays, because most people do not have the time to prepare elaborate breakfast from Monday to Friday. Everybody is rushing off for work. So these are the very common breakfasts that are used. But over weekends, people tend to eat more elaborate breakfasts like idli or dosa with sambar and chutney, or paratha with dahi, or upma or poha, and so on and so forth. So whatever the breakfast may be, it needs to be well-rounded, full of nutrition, and providing good health. Next slide, please. So are cereals a good choice for breakfast? Yes, they are. And why is that? Let's see. Next slide, please. Like I said before, they are very convenient and easy to prepare. It doesn't take much time at all. It's very, very convenient. It's made from natural grains. Cereals, breakfast cereals are typically low in fat. Simplest way to get fiber is through breakfast cereals. There is enhanced micronutrient intake, and it also promotes milk intake because one has to add milk in order to eat breakfast cereal, and this helps to provide protein and calcium for the body. So cereal breakfast is a good choice for most people in the morning. Next slide, please. Breakfast cereals also play a role in reducing the risk of non-communicable diseases. Next slide, please. The most common health issues that urban Indians face are weight problems, diabetes, high blood pressure, and cardiac diseases. So breakfast cereals or ready-to-eat cereals have shown to help in managing all these, or even preventing all these problems. So here are some studies which show that ready-to-eat cereal consumers have a healthier body weight compared to other breakfast eaters and skippers. The study was done in adults. They have a lower body mass index and waist circumference as shown in children and adults. They are 57% less likely to be overweight than ready-to-eat cereal non-consumers, and have more desirable body composition. This was shown in adults. And 31% less likely to be overweight or obese, or have abdominal obesity relative to breakfast skippers, and 22% relative to other breakfast consumers, as was shown in adults. Next slide, please. As far as cardiometabolic risk factors go, young adults consuming ready-to-eat cereals demonstrated a reduced cardiometabolic risk. Consumption of whole grain products showed reduced postprandial insulin, that is the insulin levels after eating breakfast, and triglyceride plasma concentrations. Dairy cereal breakfast or any other high energy fiber breakfast are associated with the reduced cardiometabolic risk. Regular consumption of oat, barley, or psyllium-based breakfast cereals can help to lower total and LDL cholesterol concentrations. Next slide, please. Whole grain consumption was inversely associated with incident hypertension. Cereal fiber consumption leads to reduced risk of hypertension. 36% reduction in hypertension risk was observed in 2 cross-sectional studies analyzing data from NHANES, that is the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey. Next slide, please. Whole grain consumption has been linked with 20 to 30% reduced type 2 diabetes mellitus risk. Cereal fiber reduces the risk of developing type 2 diabetes mellitus by 28 to 37%. Regular whole grain and high fiber breakfast cereal consumption can lead to reduced diabetes risk. So all these 4 major health risks are reduced by eating a healthy breakfast, which is high in fiber, has good complex carbohydrates and micronutrients. Next slide, please. So the take-home messages are: cereals are the main source of energy and various nutrients in our diet. So ensure that you have good amount of cereals and millets regularly in your meals every day. Have a balanced diet to ensure good nutritional status, prevent micro and macronutrient malnutrition, and to maintain healthy immune system. Do not skip breakfast, whatever the reason may be. It has well documented the benefits on health. Start with a balanced breakfast each day, whatever your choice may be. Cereals, milk, and fruit is an example of a balanced breakfast providing important nutrients. There's enough evidence available that proves beneficial role of breakfast cereals in reducing the risk of diet-related chronic diseases. Thank you very much. Yeah, the next slide, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Sheila Krishnaswamy. It was a very nice, comprehensive talk that you have delivered here on the importance of cereals. तो मैम ने जो कहा है वो है कि अनाज पौष्टिक है and variety of अनाज लेना है हमको. My plate दिखाया उन्होंने, which is a very good concept for us to take ahead. Breakfast खाना बहुत ज़रूरी है और ब्रेकफास्ट में फुल ग्रेन होल ग्रेन जो सीरियल्स है वो लेना ज़्यादा बहुत ज़रूरी है and whatever it is there is no excuse for not having breakfast and with very beautiful slides आपने दिखाया. Thank you so much. So there are a couple of questions here for us. अगर हम लोग 1-2 questions लेंगे जो हमको chat पे आया है. So is that fine, Ms. Sheila Krishnaswamy? We'll go ahead with a couple of questions. So one of the first questions is that how do we decrease anti-nutritional factors in cereals? Is one question.
Yeah. So the anti-nutritional factors or components get destroyed when it is cooked, during the cooking process. So we do not need to worry. Most of the cereals we eat are always cooked, either at home or if we get the the ready-to-eat cereals, they're already processed, so we don't need to worry about the anti-nutritional factors.
Right. So as long as it is cooked, it's not an issue at all.
Yes.
Another question, again, very interesting, and I think it kind of continuously runs in the mind, is that breakfast cereals, the ready-to-eat ones, there is some processing involved over there. So, and it may have sugar, and therefore, in comparison with homemade cereals, how does it fare?
Okay, I will answer this in 2 parts. One is, it is the first part of the question, I think, is it is processed in some way. Is that right?
Right.
Yes.
And the sugar, added sugar may be there.
Right. So when we say processing foods, even the paddy is processed. Let's not forget that. The wheat grain is processed because we cannot eat. What does processing mean? Basically, processing is moving from a very raw agricultural product to making it something edible at home or in the kitchen. So we can't really eat paddy directly, or we can't eat the wheat grains directly, right? So that itself is processed. Even the millets, for example, we cannot take them directly from the plant and eat it put it on our plate and eat it. So everything has to undergo processing, right? So we need not, kind of look down upon the word processed. I think what we really need to check is whether they are highly processed in order to make them totally refined. So when rice or wheat are completely, very highly processed and made totally refined, like we have the maida, the wheat turning into maida, or the paddy turning into super white rice. So that is what we need to be concerned about. Not when the paddy is turned into an unpolished rice or a brown rice, or when the wheat, the grain is turned into whole wheat flour, which is further processed into, chapatis or flakes, or whatever, the rice, cooked rice, or whatever it may be. So I don't think we really need to worry too much about the processing product, as long as it's not refined. So whole grains do require some amount of processing. That's the first part. The second part is they do contain sugar in some amounts. Yes, they do. They do. Some of the processed foods do contain sugar to make it palatable for people, especially for children, I think, because even adults probably can, eat without sugar or with very little sugar. But children do not eat without sugar, or if it is not sweet, they tend to kind of not eat that item, not eat that breakfast. So a little bit of sugar is definitely, it's okay. And my belief is that the sugar quantity that is used should fall within the entire day's allowance of sugar intake. Because there is an allowance of about 4 to 5 teaspoons of sugar per person per day, and you do not get all that day's allowance in just eating a cup of breakfast cereal or anything, whatever else it may be. So I don't think we really need to worry too much about sugar, as long as that sugar in that food product falls within the day's total allowance. So that is
Thank you, Sheila.
Yes, Dr. Subhadra, I'm back here, so I got locked down. Yeah.
I think, there is goodness in all varieties of breakfast. It's not like one, breakfast is better than the other, or one breakfast is not nutritious and the other one is very nutritious. Everything has its goodness. We eat breakfast cereals because, like I said before, in my practice, I've seen people eating breakfast cereals only because it's convenient and they don't have time on weekdays. So they find it very convenient, very nutritious to add a cup of milk, eat a banana, have your a bowl of breakfast cereal, and run to work. But on the other hand, go ahead and enjoy your idli and dosa, upma, poha, or paratha, whatever you want on the days you feel like eating. So everything has its benefit. I think balance, again, is the key.
Yes, absolutely. Balance and moderation and mixing up everything and looking at it in the perspective of the entire day's plan is what we have to look at. And also this session is for not specifically diabetics per se, or, people with health challenges. It's also for the general population. So we do have all groups here and whatever is right. And therefore, I think, Ms. Sheila Krishnaswamy, we must emphasize here that I think the point of contact to a dietitian or a nutritionist is so important. I think that's what this brings out, like how we go to a doctor, we also have to go to a dietitian and nutritionist so that we understand for ourselves, and a qualified one at that.
Absolutely. You brought the words out of my mouth, Vibha, because that was going to be my final sentence.
Yes, please do elaborate on that, because I think, we have people from all over the country here, in the sense from, it's a big, large group, and therefore it's very important that they hear this from you, I think.
Absolutely. Can I keep that for the end? Are we done with questions?
Of course. No. There are a couple of questions more. One person wants to know about the My Plate slide and explain without statistics for the common person. So I think even if you don't show the slide, it's fine. If you could just share it. We also had a little technical glitch there.
Okay, all right. So the My Plate slide, just imagine your regular thali, the round plate which you use at home. If you can put a thali in front of you and divide the thali into half, right? So one half should contain all your vegetables and fruits. And about a quarter of the plate, or a little more than a quarter of that thali, should have all your whole grains. So that could be your, brown rice, or whole wheat chapatis, or it could be millets like ragi, jowar roti, or bajra roti, or whatever it may be. So all of that should be a little more than a quarter, right? And a little less than a quarter, almost a quarter, is protein foods. That is your dairy, your if you eat meat, then the meats, egg, the dals, pulses, nuts, seeds, all of those foods which give a lot of protein. Those foods should be almost a quarter of the plate, and very small quantity of oils and fats. So this is the My Plate concept that has been brought out by National Institute of Nutrition. And if we can follow this, basically what the Institute is telling us is that we need to eat more of fruits and vegetables, some amount of cereals and cereal grains, and if you want to include the breakfast cereals, that's fine too. And we also need some amount of proteins from various food groups, but very little oils and fats, and less sugar, and definitely less salt and all of that. And equally important is physical activity. I hope I've been able to explain that to the person who asked the question.
Yes, thank you. And so we'll end with the last question. And I also want to comment that there are some questions on specifically diabetics and a few questions on intermittent fasting, but I'm not too sure whether we should bring that over here, because I feel we do have a session for diabetics separately. I think that is the best forum to ask. Sure. And intermittent fasting will that is a scope for another discussion altogether.
Unless another webinar, maybe.
Yes, unless you want to comment on it. But one interesting question, the last one we take here, is that what could be the reasons of the cereal consumption decreasing? Is it food culture? What is it?
I think it is. Okay. I don't want to blame anybody or anything, but it's probably partially it's the internet. And partially it's the change in food habits or food culture. It is definitely not availability, because there are plenty of grains available, but we seem to be shifting towards higher fat intake, a little more protein intake and all of that. But yes, I think it's the influence of, and plus all these fancy fad diets that keep coming on the internet that we keep reading, and those are kind of influencing. And as Vibha said, I don't want to go into all those fat diets right now, but those are also influencing people in reducing the cereal intake, and that's very unfortunate, because cereals do form a very important part of our diets. So I think it's very important to have a balanced meal and not fall for the fat diets or fancy diets that come across on social media and the internet and all of that.
Absolutely. And now for your parting remarks on a dietetic consultant.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, being a dietitian, having been in this profession for 37 years, I must say that it's very, very important for every person to meet a qualified dietitian if you need help with your meal plans. There are plenty of us available in India. We have a very strong group of dietitians and nutritionists in India. So please feel free to approach one in whichever part of the city you are in. And I think in today's day and age, where everything is on the internet, we do have some very good dietitians consulting even on online. So you can reach out to them in whenever you want to. But please do go to a qualified dietitian. Do not fall prey to information on social media. Do not blindly follow diet plans which is available on the World Wide Web. Please do meet a qualified person. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Sheela Krishnaswamy. It was wonderful having you with us. And as a start of the, the series itself as inaugural function, thank you so much. So we will now go ahead with the next session. So if you're comfortable, you can put off the video. Yes, thank you. So what was discussed in the earlier session was how cereals are so important and how breakfast is important. And we really should not keep cereals away, and it has to be part of a diet. Keep it whole. Use convenience foods also for our health. And it's better to to use a convenience food rather than say that I'm not eating because I don't have time. So I think it was beautifully put together by ma'am. And so now we go ahead to the next session. So as I said, the first one is an information session. The second one is a practical session. And we have a recipe demonstration by a celebrity chef. May I request Dr. Shubhadra to share the screen for the introduction of the chef? So, and today we are going to talk cereals actually. So we have Chef Ranveer Brar. And I don't think he is unknown to most of you. We all know him. He's a celebrity chef. He's the author. He's a food film producer, benefactor, and mentor of culinary institutions. He has been accredited as the youngest executive chef at 25 years of age. And in his, up to now, he's really, done wonders in terms of achievements. He's renowned globally for his knowledge on food history, global cuisines, and he has opened several restaurants pan-India and abroad. Of course, he's a popular judge of MasterChef and many other cookery shows. He's a recipient of several awards and received a lot of recognition. One I will quote here is Best Celebrity Chef of year 2017, and there are many, many more. And this is an interesting term that he has coined, a food Sufi at heart. And which means that, he looks at food a little spiritually, and the fact that how it nourishes our body as well as our soul. And he's an extensive traveler in search of food stories and connects. And today he is going to show us a nutrition cereal blend. So our collaborator, Kellogg's India, has, very nicely put together this recipe demonstration. And while this particular recipe demonstration is an example of how convenience-based cereals can be blended with fresh foods to create and enhance the nutrition, and fortified cereals can actually help. While it's an example using one line of products, I'm just appealing to the audience here to keep your minds open, because the kitchen is magical and we can use any cereal and multiple combinations to achieve the same effect that Chef Ranveer Brar will tell us about. So here I request Shilpa to please start sharing the screen, and we see Chef Ranveer Brar demonstrating the blend of cereal and fresh food and creating enhanced nutrition from there.
Hi everybody, I am Ranveer Brar and I'm very happy to be a part of the Nirmal Swasthya. Anything that has to do with nutritional and lifestyle empowerment, I'm very happy to be a part of. It's a great initiative, and I think Kellogg's has been like family. I'm happy to be standing here for my family of Kellogg's. And the objective is very simple. The objective is to create two dishes. दो dishes बनाएंगे जो बेसिकली बहुत सिंपल है, लेकिन उनके बारे में जानने को बहुत कुछ है. So smoothies are the in thing, especially in summer. Smoothies बहुत आसान तरीका है बच्चों को न्यूट्रिशन देने का. Under the garb of what they want, you can put in all that you want them to eat. And I always suggest smoothies for kids for summers, and cereal smoothies are a thing, especially with Kellogg's Chocos. The variety of smoothies that you can make is outstanding. I know I've shown you Kellogg's Chocos and banana smoothie. Mangoes are in season. I'm going to do a very interesting mango version. I'm going to do a mango basil almond smoothie with Chocos. Ready? Okay. So the first thing obviously is Kellogg's Chocos. If you have ragi chocos, use ragi. I love the texture. So approximately, I'd say 1 cup, and here we go. 1 small cup Kellogg's Chocos, 5 almonds or 4 almonds, 4 5 almonds. Here we go. Basil leaves, 3 to 4. Now basil is the most beautiful part that we're using here. Basil works beautifully with both mango and chocolate. And then some mango. Like I said, Chocos is available in different shapes, especially when you're garnishing it. My son Ishan जो है उसको बड़ा पसंद है जब मैं moons and stars से garnish करता हूँ smoothie. He loves it. So I think you can choose the variant that your kids love. The benefits will always stay. Also, like I said, if you have access, use ragi chocos. Quarantine, I did not have access to it. Here goes the mango. Yeah. And a little bit of chocolate syrup. Just a little bit. I'm going to add the yogurt first. Till the time the chocolate syrup is making up its mind. Here we are. You should use your fruits and yogurt chilled, so you don't have to add ice. I don't prefer adding ice to Ishan's drinks. Put it in a smoothie blender and see that? It's a good thick shake. Something that kids love. If you want, you can put ice and thin it down. If you're making it for yourself and you are the exercise types like me, what I do is sometimes I add a little bit of whey powder. That works beautifully. And here you have a thick, nice Chocos smoothie ready. Mango, basil, Chocos. And now the garnish. Let it sink. Here goes the mango. The basil. And the Chocos. If you have moons and stars, you can put that. Similarly, you could do any smoothie, you know. Whenever I feel like it, I do a muesli smoothie. You know, you take Kellogg's muesli, put a lot of grains, it already has a lot of grains, you know, it already has fruit. So just take apple, yogurt, muesli, honey, makes for an amazing smoothie. There's a honey almond cornflakes. Just take honey, almond, add the honey almond cornflakes to it, add milk, smoothen it out. That's a beautiful smoothie in itself. If you want, you can also do, you can also take the same thing, put it in the freezer, make an ice cream. A Chocos mango ice cream is outstanding. Cereal milk ice creams are the next big thing, trust me. And enjoy. You know, one of my favorite dishes to make with cornflakes is a parfait. The first thing that I ever made with the Kellogg's cornflakes was a parfait. But then after that, I said, why does a parfait have to be sweet? ये parfait हमेशा मीठा ही क्यों होता है भाई? नमकीन भी हो सकता है ना? And then I created my version of a savory parfait. तो वो नमकीन खट्टा मीठा चटपटा पारफे लेके मैं हूं रणवीर ब्रार. And this is the Kellogg's cornflakes. And you don't have to use just cornflakes. You can use a mix of cereals. You can use All-Bran. All-Bran is amazing with this. अगर All-Bran मिलता है All-Bran डालिए. अगर म्यूसली मिलती है म्यूसली डालिए. What else works with this? All-Bran muesli. Wheat flakes works beautifully. Special K works beautifully. So for the parfait, we're going to make a lentil mix. एक lentil की चाट बनाएंगे, ठीक है? जिसमें lentil है, ये green mango है जो मैंने chop किया हुआ है. Chopped green mango, lentil. भाई green mango is in season, and for everything healthy, eat seasonal. Green chilies. Because हमारा दिल है हिंदुस्तान. Chopped coriander. मोटा मोटा काटना है. Yeah, I'm not being a chef here. I'm just being Ranveer Brar cooking at home. You know what I love about Kellogg's cornflakes is the nutrition element. What fortification does is basically, you see this iron Shakti board? For me, it goes to show that stuff has been added to my food to make it better. In this case, iron. And one of the reasons Kellogg's is good at what they do is because they understand nutrition and they understand what nutrients do you and your children need. And that's where fortification really helps. Salt. If you're making it for kids, don't put the chili. And this goes at the bottom. If you don't have, अगर मान लीजिए सीजन में नहीं है और आप रॉ मैंगो आपको नहीं मिल रहा, ग्रीन एप्पल यूज करिए. ग्रीन एप्पल इज एन एक्सीलेंट सब्स्टिट्यूट. सो ग्रीन एप्पल चाट पार्फे, सो गुड. Nice. All right. And now, once this is done, I'm going to take some cornflakes. Put them here. और देसी इसको चटका देने के लिए a little bit of red chili powder. And a little bit of भुने जीरे का पाउडर. तो एकदम वो चाट वाला फ्लेवर आ जाएगा. और ये जो है दही है जो मैंने टांग रखा है, हंग योगर्ट, ठीक है ना. एंड जस्ट सॉल्ट, a little bit of sugar. वो चाट वाला योगर्ट होता है ना, या that one. Beautiful. Lovely. So this is something that could be made. You know, you could put it in a plastic container, take it to your office. Take some cornflakes separately because they'll get soggy. Take some cornflakes separately, or some wheat flakes, or some All-Bran. Put it on top in your office and have it in the office. Good idea, ना? अब इसके ऊपर थोड़ा सा हमारा power of Indian protein, lentils, and the taste of green mango. Obviously cornflakes. Obviously Kellogg's cornflakes. Nice. Green mango. You know what? You could also do like a jhalmuri cornflake parfait. So basically, take cornflakes, take everything else, put a little bit of grated coconut, उसमें थोड़ा सा mustard oil डालें, सेम raw mango डालें, हल्के से मसाले डालें, मिक्स करें, झालमुड़ी बनाते हैं ना, cornflake झालमुड़ी बना के उसकी लेयरिंग कर सकते हैं. Good idea ना? Just remember, milk or milk products and Kellogg's cornflakes, and once you add the lentils that you added, क्या बात.
So how many of us enjoyed it? I think it's nearing our tea time, and the jhalmuri new combination would have really, it's whetted our appetites. But बहुत ज़रूरी है कि इसका जो आपने वीडियो देखा है उसका एक छोटा सा समरी मैं दूं. ये है कि हमारे किचन में बहुत सारे अनाज है और अनाज यूज करना बहुत ज़रूरी है. बहुत वैरायटी के अनाज है, कुछ होल होंगे, कुछ नेचुरल होंगे, कुछ कन्वीनियंस होंगे. जो आपको आपके पास अवेलेबल है वो हम लेके फ्रेश इंग्रेडिएंट्स के साथ मिला के, दैट इज अ न्यू थिंग बिकॉज करंटली सब कुछ अवेलेबल नहीं होगा, तो जितना फ्रेश इंग्रेडिएंट्स है उसके साथ मिलाओ, कन्वीनियंस फूड या फोर्टिफाइड फूड जो है उसको ब्लेंड करो ताकि दोनों का जो पौष्टिकता है, दोनों का जो एडवांटेज है वो हमारे पास आ जाए. So variety is something that we are looking at, and the second part of it is that food industry and nutritionists have also started looking at how to blend it. ऐसा नहीं कि एक नहीं खा सकते और दूसरा ही खाना है या कुछ और स्वादिष्ट है कुछ नहीं, you know, दोनों का जो मिश्रण हम करेंगे, that is what is going to be the way ahead in future. जितना होगा हम ट्रेडिशनल खाएंगे और अगर नहीं हो पाएगा then we do take help. So look at the variety available and आपका जो creativity है और आपका जो innovation है वो आप definitely इसमें डालिए, and it's going to be a lovely mixture. So we are well in time for today's session. We were supposed to end at 5:30. I'll just look at so, and therefore we will, I don't think right now we will be taking questions, but one very important thing that I want to tell you is आपको ये चैट में फीडबैक लिंक दिया है, तो प्लीज आप फीडबैक लिंक दीजिए ताकि हम आप लोग के लिए बेहतरीन चीजें वेबिनार्स और कर सकते हैं. जो आप चाहते हो देखना या आपको जो अच्छा लगा इसमें या जो क्वेश्चन है वो आप फीडबैक में आप हमको दीजिए ताकि हम आपके लिए बेहतरीन वेबिनार्स और लेके आए. So I think that's it. But आपको पता है कि हमारा पूरा schedule क्या है. The next one is on 11th at 11:30, day after tomorrow 11:30, and the next webinar will talk about how to be an intelligent food consumer. हम कैसे food label देख के क्या हम कैसे food choose कर सकते हैं and कि adulterated है या नहीं है, हम ये कैसे पता करें. So बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग सेशन होगा और आगे भी बहुत स्पेसिफिक सेशंस है डायबिटिक्स के लिए, एल्डरली के लिए, बच्चों के लिए, क्या माइंडसेट होना चाहिए. We have put together a nice thing for us and looking to see you soon on 11th and looking to see a larger group here with us today. So that's all from us. Please put in the feedback and God bless and bye-bye for today.